Welcome back to Homegrown Passion. I'm Katie and I've been harvesting spinach and I got really curious to see how much I have, and there's 6 pounds in this bin. Got a couple more channels to harvest, so come on back with me. Well, today's video is going to be a little bit shorter than usual. This past week I spent a lot of time in the high tunnel, the strawberry house, getting things ready. So later on I'm going to take you over there and show you everything I've accomplished. But before we get to that, I want to finish harvesting the spinach, and I want to show you how well everything else is growing here in the greenhouse. And one other thing I did this week, I made my annual trip to the produce supply house and bought a bunch of stuff I need for this spring. And I want to show you everything I purchased. But before we start, let me show you the spinach. Oh my gosh. I was really disappointed in the beginning that the leaves were very small, but look at how big the leaves have gotten now. The days are getting longer. So again, the cultivar is Lizard, and it's just really meeting my expectations, and I can't believe how nice and light and fluffy this is. Here's my last tray to harvest, and if you've seen my past videos, I use the cut and come again harvest method, where you take off all the nice big leaves and leave a lot of the little ones so it comes back. These are my older plants, and they've been in for a while, and I've harvested off them 6 times. My newer ones are back there, and I've done 2 times off of them, so they should probably go for another month for me. These guys probably one more harvest and I'll have to pull them. Well, here I am with my tomatoes. This is Robolski, that's the cultivar. Sitting down, they're above my head now. I can't believe how much they've grown. So today I need to pollinate, which I pollinate every other day, and I'll show you how I do that in a second. And also I'm on my 3rd cluster of flowers. So what that means is the next nutrient change, I have to boost up my calcium nitrate, potassium nitrate, and magnesium sulfate to give them more nutrients so they keep producing, because when they get bigger, they need all the nutrients they can get. The maintenance I've been doing on the tomato plants so far is making sure I clip off all the suckers, making sure the plants are connected to the trellis line with the vine clips. I love doing that because it makes them nice and straight. And I've been going through the tomato clusters to make sure I only have 2 or 3 tomatoes on there, so I get nice big juicy ones. And now that the tomatoes are getting bigger, I'm going to have to get the cluster hooks and hold up the stem, and it goes right to the bobbin line, and it holds the stem up so it doesn't bend, so the tomatoes get all the nutrients and are able to grow. And like I said before, pollinating, so let's get over to pollinating. Well, here's my pollinator, my electric toothbrush. This one's getting kind of old. Sometimes I put it on and it doesn't work, but now it's working for me. So let's get pollinating. I know I have a newer one up at the house and I'm almost ready to retire, so I think I'm going to bring it back here. This guy likes to go out on me. I get halfway through. Oh, this is pretty cool. Lots and lots of pollen coming out of the flowers. So I just go down the row and just hit every little flower, pretend I'm a bee, and get them all pollinated. I noticed as I was pollinating, my sticky cards were getting into the leaves, so I need to raise them up a little bit. I haven't had too many pests, so they're doing their job, and I'm able to monitor to see what's going on in the greenhouse. And the best place to have the sticky cards is right above the canopy, because that's where you get most of your infestations, and you can really monitor them. So I'm going to go through all the lines and just raise them up a couple inches just to keep them right where they're supposed to be. And I finally got another new pack, and I'm going to add some more now that the season it's getting warmer and we're in and out of the greenhouse a lot more, so I just want to make sure I keep all the pests at bay. Look at my green bean jungle. These guys are growing like crazy. They're up over the guide wire and they're starting to get some flower buds. So I should have some green beans here in another couple weeks, which is the Vortex of the variety I use. This is nice long straight green beans that are nice and sweet and easy to use. And I think I told you guys in a couple videos, probably about a couple months ago, that we made dilly beans with the green beans. Oh my gosh, they are amazing. I'm enjoying eating them all winter time. They're just a nice spicy pickled bean. And for my farm market, which starts in June, I think probably the beginning of April, I'm going to seed a whole row, because I know all my farm market customers love the Vortex green beans. The only maintenance with green beans is once you have them trained up to go on the string, is that when they shoot off a runner, you got to take that runner and make sure it's trained to go up to on the string, because if you don't, they get full and heavy with the crop and they break off. So I have to do the same thing with the ones that are up in the top, train them to go over the guide wire, because if you just let them go and they get like 10, 15 green beans on them, the whole thing will just break off and you lose a lot of production. My paste tomatoes, I don't even want to talk about these guys. I trimmed them up a couple times and they've keep getting bushier and bushier, so I just keep pinning them up on the line so they don't fall over. They're just starting to set fruit, so once I get enough tomatoes for my sauce, I'm getting these guys out of here because I know it's going to be a huge mess. The pepper plants are doing good. They like it a lot hotter than the tomato plants, so they're growing a little bit slower, but they're ready to be trimmed up to my 2 stem, but that's something I'll get to this week. And I just wanted to show you how cool they look. And I got lots of flowers, and I actually have one little poblano on one of the plants over there. So they are producing, they're trying their best, but once we get into the 80s during the day, these guys are going to go crazy. Well, you gotta love the weather in Ohio. One day it's 60, the next day it's 30, and look, it's snowing. We're supposed to get 3 to 5 inches of snow tonight. Wasn't expecting that when I came out of the greenhouse just now. But it is nice and warm in here. So it's like 55 or 60, so let me show you everything I got accomplished this week. Now that everything's out of the high tunnel, I forgot how big it is. It's 33 by 96, and I look back and it's like, yeah, this is a pretty big high tunnel. But now that everything's out, I'm going to go ahead and rake all the rest of the debris out and take the blower and get all the fine junk out and blow it out the front door. Then I'm going to bring back the power washer because my drop down sides, sometimes in the summertime when it rains, they hold water and it gets algae, so I'm going to make sure everything's all nice and clean. And then we're going to start the build and get all the new stands, get all my beetle buckets in so I can plant my strawberries. Well, let me show you everything I got from Yoder's Produce Supply, and boy is it snowing. These are some big fat snowflakes, kind of cool. Well, the first thing is I got cocoa liners for all my flower pots because last year at the auction I got these really nice metal cauldrons and they have the cocoa liners, so I wanted to replace all them because it's nothing better than having flowers around the house and back here at the head house. It just makes me really happy. Got some new ground cover because my plan is between the high tunnel and the greenhouse this year is I'm going to try to grow some melons hydroponically, and I think it's going to work out really well because we're going to fence it off to keep all the deer out. And then I also got a new battery for the excavator, oh boy, and then some water lines because I wanted to replace all the emitters and all the watering systems in the new strawberry house. So got some new of that, and let me go over on the other side and show you what else we got. Okay, up here in the front of the van, we went to the warehouse club and got some paper towels and toilet paper, but I also got some potting soil from Yoder's that is a really good seed starter that works really well that I've used for quite a few years, and some growing medium that is wonderful in pots. You don't want to go to a big box store and get the cheap stuff. You want to make sure you have some really good stuff if you want to have beautiful flowers. Well, it is so beautiful out. I think I'm going to go take off and go for a walk in the woods. So I'm going to end the video here. But next week, it's supposed to be in the 60s and sunny. So hopefully I can get a lot of the build done and show you guys everything that's going on. And like always, please leave me any questions, comments, and suggestions down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you guys next video.